Okay, welcome back. Thanks again for joining me. We're here to continue the playthrough of Pokemon Picross, and I promised last time I would go back and redo Oshawott. You can see we've got a few extra achievements unlocked, but let's just dive straight in, make sure that I set the right Pokemon this time. So let's put a grass Pokemon on, and then we'll try this again real quick. So if we make any mistakes, the ability of Oddish is going to be auto-fix. So if I make any mistakes along the way, Oddish will set me straight, at least a few times anyway. Now, last time I challenged it in one direction, I'm going to try it slightly different here. So 1, space 1, 2, space 1, 2, 3. Well, that can't be filled in there, but we know the 8 at least can be filled in. Let's do both of those 8s to start off with, and we can do the 2. Finish this column. Finish this column. Use the edge tool there. There's a 3, 6. Okay. We can finish that. There's a 2. That's that 2 finished. That's that. And we can finish the 8. The 2. Mark those off. Let's complete that row. We know there's a 1 there and a 3 there. We've got a group of 2, 1, and 1. That allows us to finish the 3. Right, what's left? Well, we can do our 3 here because that's the only place they can go. We know it needs 1s, and that finishes that column. And that's that row finished as well. The groups of 2, well, the 2 can only be placed there, which finishes that. We have left our group of 1. That finishes the 8. That finishes this column. And then what's left? Well, we've got our 6, that finishes that 1, and we can finish that 1. That finishes that, and then finally that. There we go. Finished in under 2 minutes. And there we go. We have now earned all the pick rights for this level. So, as you can see, nothing else to do here. The only thing we can do is unlock the next world area. So let's do that now. Now you'll see this is put behind a paywall of sorts. So this is going to cost us a rather substantial 50 pick rights. That's just under 1/4 of our current bank allowance of pick rights, but we need to do this to move on. So we'll move into area 2. Let's see what awaits us here. We have a 10 by 10 grid to start off with. We've got 4 challenges. 5 minutes, set only dark Pokemon, use Scatterfield at least once, and complete all missions. So it said only 1 dark type Pokemon. So we've got put the dark type Pokemon. We'll take Oshawott, and let's just double check that that matches what we need. Only dark type. Well, yes, we've only got that and Scatter Reveal. So let's see if we can get all the pick rights for this world. Okay, right off the bat we've got 2 10s, that's easy, let's do that. Okay, there we go. We've got 4 here, so it can only be in that place there, same with this column. We've got a 6 that can overlap to this, and because we've already got these filled in, it can only go as far as that. Same for the 5. And the 8 is a given, we know that. The 9 is a big number, so we can fill that in. Now, because of the X's marked here, we can only place a 6 in this possible position, so that's solved for us. We've got a group of a 5 and a 3. Well, if we count 5 up, if there's a 5 anywhere here, we can't join it, so we can put a mark there, which allows us to subdivide and solve for the 5 and the 3. Using the overlap rule, we can figure out where 8 is meant to lie, and because it can't go any further, that's the maximum. Here we've got a 2 and a 4, and because the 4 can only reach as far as here, and the 2 only reaches here, we know there's a mark there, but because of this row being solved anyway, we know that's a certainty, we know that rule applies. We can now figure out where the 3 is meant to go there. There's not meant to be any 3s here, so we mark that off. Place our 2 and our 1. We can finally solve where the 2 is meant to go. And that's that row of 6 done. we've got a group of 3 and a 1 here. Well, the 3 couldn't possibly be in this position because we wouldn't be able to have space for a 1. So we can place our 1, a gap, and then our 3, and that's done. This row needs a group of 3, and it also needs a group of 1. And that finishes the 8. We can do an overlap here. We can finish off the 6. We can block off that 1. Finish that column. We can finish this row. Finish the column of the 4. Put the 3 in place. Finish the 9. And then the last thing to do is fill out this row. And there we go. Complete in under 5 minutes. Using only dark Pokemon and using Scatter Reveal at least once. So, great start. We can move straight on to the next challenge. Now, unfortunately, we don't quite have enough energy. So, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it there for the time being. I will pause the recording and come back to it because I only just need 1 more point. So, I'll be back momentarily. Okay, I'm back. I just got to make myself a drink, and what was just a few moments for you was a few minutes for me. But you can see I've now got the required energy to do the second level. So let's rush through this now. Let's have a look at what the challenges are. 5 minutes, 2 Pokemon, use skills, few of them 5 times. Well, I think I can manage that. So let's add a second Pokemon to the roster. Let's add Pumpkaboo, the one we've just done. Does that have a skill? Is it a passive skill? You know what, doesn't matter. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and dive straight in. Now, I'm not actually going to start with a skill active. I'm just going to dive straight in as is and see if I can solve it without help. Let's look at 8. 8 is a big number. We can fill that out. We've got 1 and 6. We've seen that before in the tutorial, so let's count 1 space and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can overlap backwards. We've got our edges. That's fantastic. Here we've got a large number in our grouping. We've got 1 and then 4 and 2, so let's count 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then space, then 1, 2. We can count backwards, 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's as much as we can do there for now. We filled up 1 extra on the 8, so we can mark that off. This column is only meant to have 1s. That helps us reveal where the 6 is meant to be. That allows us the edging of 2, 2, and then 3. That's brilliant. Here we've got 3 groups of 1, 1, 2, and then we can't place anything else there, so the 1 group of 2 at least needs to be here. We can block off that 1 for the column here. We can finish where 4 is meant to be, and we know where a group of 2 is meant to be in this row. That allows us to put a 2 here. We can finish that, and we can block off that as well. This column is now complete. There's an overlap for a 2 in this column, and there is a 1 there. We can finish that, we can finish that, and then that's that complete there. Now, what else do we have left to do? Well, as we were solving, we finished off the 8, which is fantastic. We've got 2 groups of 1 and a 6. This is probably going to fill out the row, so let's count it. 1 space, 1 space. Yep, that finishes this column. We can count from the left for the 4. Use the edge to finish these values. The 3 has to go here. The 3 counts as far as that. That finishes this row. This row has been completed. That 1 is complete. We know where the 3 is meant to lie now, and we've finished this row, and this row is complete. What's left to do? We can finish that one. We can finish where the 2 is. We know where the 1 is meant to be. This row is complete. The only place the 1 can be is there. We can overlap a 2 in the middle, which finishes this column. We know where the 2 is now meant to be here. That finishes this column. And we can finish off where that 2 is meant to be, and we are done. Easy. And we've unlocked, is that Pancham? Now this time around, we haven't just obtained purely Picross, we've got a mural tile. We'll look at that again later, but let's just say okay to those, accept our rewards, and you can see first up Primal. That's an achievement towards the Primal primal tablets that we have to fill out. Okay, so as you can see, we've just been told what the tile is. Completing the murals don't contribute towards the journey through the game. They're like an added bonus to go to, and they present a split up series of smaller puzzles that contribute to a large total picture. I will save those for another time. I'll run through the main game first, and then I'll return to do the murals at a later point once I've unlocked all the tiles. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for joining me and goodbye, and I hope you'll join me for the future episodes. So, thank you.